Hi guys, welcome back again. So we will solve this question for May June 2024, 96 18 42 today. So we're solving question number one. So question number one, the instruction says that three source files are used to answer question one. So we need three source files to answer this question one. These files are called easy.txt, medium.txt, and add.txt. Okay, so these are the source file, easy.txt, add, and medium. So I saved it here on my computer system. So if you look at this question now says a program outputs a main word. The program asks the user to enter the different words of three or more letters that can be made from letters in the word. These are called the answers. There are three files that I mentioned. Each file has the main word on the first line. For example, the main word in easy.txt is house. So that means it has that on the first line. The answers are stored in the file. Each answer is on the new line after the main word. For example, easy.txt has 14 answers that can be made from the letters in the word. So the word read from the text file the word read from the text file are stored in the global array word array. The number of words that can be made from the letter in the main word is stored in the global variable number words. So the procedure read words, take a file name as a parameter, open the file and reads in the data, stores the main word in the first element in word array, stores each answer in the new element in word array, count and stores the number of answers. So we are asked to write the main program or the program code for read words. So before this, we need to understand that we are working with files. So we need to understand file manipulation. We need to understand how to read from a file and how to write to a file before we can be able to answer this question. So let me take us through a kind of crash course on file handling. So let's talk about files, file manipulation. So file handling in Python allows you to work with file on your computer system. So it is important for saving data, processing files, and retrieving information from the stored file. So we have some key concepts in Python as far as file handling is concerned. So number one is opening a file. So you need to open a file before you can do anything with it, just like you have a file in your computer system. So before you can read or write or do anything to a file, the first thing is to open the file. Do you understand? So when you open the file, you can open with some mode. The mode to read, write, append, or even the binary mode, which is used for opening non-text file, for example, image. So how do you open for a file? You use this keyword file open, then the file name, then the mode. The mode depends on whether you are reading, writing, or appending. Okay. So when you read from the file, it read the entire content from the file. When you use the function read line, this read the line one, it reads one line at a time. But when you use read lines, it read all the lines into a list. Okay. So let's take an example of this example code and then write that in Visual Studio Code to see how it works. But before you do that, there are two ways of loading your file. First and foremost, you can click on this folder icon, Explorer, this folder Explorer, then click on Open Folder. So when you click on Open Folder, then you can navigate to where your file is stored. Do you understand? So where your file is stored. So when you get to the folder where your file is stored, so I save my file in source file, okay? Then just click on select folder. So when you do that, the whole file will be opened on your Visual Studio. Not open, will be loaded to your Visual Studio. So with this, you can work on this file, okay? Then you can click on new file, then Python file, then start writing your code. So with this we have about 4 files opened here, loaded here. So let's work with the easy.txt, okay? So like I said, before you read a file, the first thing is to open that file. So you write the word, this is just a variable, okay? So you open it into a variable. So you say file is equal to open. So you open the name of the file name. So the file name is easy.txt. Then the mode, okay? The mode at which you want to open. Maybe it is read or write. So let's use read because we have the file already. So we want to read to the file. So now that the file is open, then we want to read. Okay? When you are reading, you read the content of the file to a variable. I hope you understand. So the file is opened first. So this file is now open. After opening, you want to read. So you read the content of the file to a variable. So let me call the name of the variable content. Okay. Then that is equal to read. Okay. No, not read. That is file.read. File.read. Do you understand? So file is an object that opened the file. So you are just reading from what has been opened. So after reading, let's go to print contents. So this prints everything that is read to your what? To your terminal. So let me save my file as let me save file. Okay, save. So after my file has been saved, then I can run my file. So you can see the content of the file has been read. So these are the content of the file. I hope you understand that. So this is how a file. But we have a problem with this file. The file was opened, but the file was not closed after reading, after the manipulation was done. So when you open a file, it is compulsory and essential for you to close the file that was opened. Okay. So after the printing the content, so we are supposed to say file dot close. You are supposed to type this to close the file. So it is very important. So even in Cambridge, the mark is awarded for opening and closing the file. Okay. So when you run this file now, you have your content of the file printed. Is that understood? So that means the file has been opened, read, you printed what was read, and it's closed. So at times you may forget to close your file. It can happen that you forget to close your file. Now, to prevent that, we can use another function. Instead of writing it this way, it can be written with the with open function, so that with the open function, with open function, this automatically close your file. Because if you use this function, you might forget to close your file and thus losing some marks for that. So to prevent that, you can get used to using this function, okay, so that your file will be closed automatically by itself. So instead of writing this code, then I say with, okay, so with open, then the name of the file is in .text. So you open it as what? As the name of the file. Do you understand? So with open, name of file as file. So you open it as file. So with this line of code, the file has been opened. Okay. So you type in content is equal to file.read. So with this, the content of the file has been read. So with open file name as file, that statement will open the file and also close it automatically when the function is done. I hope you understand that. So content equals to file.read, then print content. So with this, let's run our file. So the content has been printed. So with this, you don't need to close the file because the file will be closed automatically. So we can always use this henceforth because in case we may forget to close the file. So let's be used to this with open as file. Then file becomes the object. So with this, you can read, you can write. So let's take another example for write. So now that we have been able to read the file, before we go to right? Let's take a look at some other functions that can enable us to read lines from the file. Okay, so we can say that content is equal to file dot read line. So with this file dot read line, what does it does? It read the first line from the file, the first line from the file. If you look at this result, it reads the first line, which is house. So let's open the file to confirm what is in the file. Okay, now this is the file open. You can see house. That is the first word. After house, you see that there is a new line before the next word is written. So this new line is a character, which is the slash n. Okay, is a character slash n. So that was why you see here in your result, you can see house, then a new line. Do you understand? So to take out the new line, you can say file.readline dot strip. So this clears that new line. So that becomes house without the space. Can you see that? Without the new line. So this is a function that can be used to read a line from what? From the file. If you don't use read line, then you just use file dot read only, then you run this. Can you see? It reads everything in the line, house, use, and so on and so forth. Do you understand? But if you use the function read line, this read only the first character, only the first word, or only the first line in the file. So to prevent it from printing the what is it called, the new line character, you can just put dot strip. So that will prevent it from printing what? The new line character. If you want to print all the lines into a list, or everything into a list, if you look at when we use file.read, it read all the lines this way, but this is not in a list. But you may want to use a list in your exam or for some other purposes. Do you understand? So you may want to read everything to a what? To a list. So instead of using read lines dot strip, if you just use read lines, this function actually read all the lines to a list. I hope you understand that. So if you look at this output, you can see house, read line, whose, read line, new line, new line, new line. That is the enter that makes it go to the next line. So this read all the lines to a what? To a list. So if you remember, when we use content is equal to file.readlines, this actually gave us a list, but with the new line, which is exactly not what we want. We don't want the new line. But if you use read line dot strip, it will remove the new line. But if you now decide to use read lines dot strip, then this will give an error because readlines.strip does not exist. So what are we supposed to do? It's very simple. You want to form a list. You want to read in your what? Your input to a list, but you don't want the new line to be printed. Okay? So to do that, the first thing to do is to read in your message. Okay? Read it in. So let's print what is read. So you can see that all the lines are read this way, but this is not in the list. So to put it in the list, you can convert content to a list, okay, by writing content is equal to content dot split. So this split function will convert it to a list. So it's as simple as that. So when you run this, you can now see that we have our list now. Let me run this. So you can see now we have our list without the new line. So the split actually put everything to a list, remove all the new line and put everything to a list. So this is the shortest way to put everything in a list. But don't forget I use the for loop, okay? So I use for line in what? In 5. So this does it over and over. So I don't think there is a need for this for loop. So if I remove this for loop, it should still do the same thing. So now the for loop is removed, the same thing still occurs, okay? So we need to use the for loop, maybe we want to access each of the elements in the list. Do you understand? So for this case, you don't need to use the for loop. Just say content is equal to file.read, content is equal to content.split. So this puts the whatever it's read into a list. Then you can put the list. So with this, we understand how to read a file. We understand how to read the whole content in the file. We understand how to read one line in the file. To read one line in the file again, just use read line, not lines, just read line. If you don't know want the new line, just put read line dot what? Dot strip. If you need it, just write read line. It's as simple as that. I hope this is well understood. So now, what if we want to write to the same file or we want to write to a new file? So we can use the same function and just say with open, then the name of the file you want to write to. So the file may exist or the file may not exist. Once you use the mode write, it creates a new file if the file does not exist. If the file exists, it goes there to write in the file. Do you understand? So let's take for example, I want to use this file no easy.txt. This file exists, isn't it? So no easy.txt. Okay, then you change the mode to what? To write, because we want to write to the file. Then as what? As file. We're using this function because it closes automatically. So what we want to write to the file? So let's put whatever we want to write as content and say I am going home. So this is the content we want to write to the file. So to write this into the file, then use the function file dot write, then content. Okay. So when you run this file, it writes I am going home into the file. Okay. So can you remember that the file exists? So let's check the file. You see I am going home. So let's go back to the Python file and change this I am going home to welcome the gov. Okay. Then run our file. When you run our file, open the file. What have you seen? It replaces whatever is in that file. It overrides it. So that is what write does. Okay, it changes whatever is in the file and write the new content over what was there before. Do you understand? So that is what the write mode does. Okay, and also if this file does not exist, so let's say this is a easy.txt. If this is the name of the file, this file does not exist. So let's run this file now. You can see a easy.txt. So this file is now created with welcome the gov. The file does not exist, it creates the file. Do you understand? And if I also change this and say I am going home, okay, then we run this, it overrides whatever is there, and you see I am going home. So if we want to prevent that, we can use the mode append. So append will not override, but we also write that together with whatever is in the file initially. Okay. So easy.txt append. So let's run this file and open is you can see I am going home, I am going home. So if you go back to this point and say this is welcome the gov, for example, welcome the gov, and you run this, go to the file, I am going home, I am going home, welcome the gov. So it only appends, it does not overwrite. Do you understand? So write mode overwrites while append add it to the file. So these are the two ways of writing to a file. So which other way, whether the file exists or not, it creates what? A new file if it does not exist. But if it exists, write overwrites while append adds to that file. So I hope this is well understood. So this is a summary of file handling and how to handle a file in Python. So having understood that, so let's go back to the question we are supposed to solve for today. So a program outputs a main word. It outputs a main word. The program asks the user to enter the different words of three or more letters that can be made from the letters in the main word. As if there is a main word and there are some other words that can be made from from the main word. Then the new words are at least three letters. These are called answers. There are three files: easy, medium, and hard. Each file has the main word on the first line. So each file has the main word on the first line. So for example, the main word in easy.txt is house. The answers are stored in the file. Each answer is on the new line after the main word. So when we have the main word, we have the answers on the new line. For example, easy.txt has 14 answers that can be made from the letters in house. Excuse me. The words read from the text file are stored in the global array word array. So there is a global array that keeps the word read from the text file. So that means this is a list, right? So let's declare it out. But before we do that, we need to come back here to our Visual Studio Code, then open the folder to our source file so that we can work on the file, okay? So when we open this folder, wherever the source file is stored, then you open your source file, just click on it and click on select folder. So you should have your source file on your computer system, okay? So when you open it, then you come to click a new file, Python file, just to type your code, okay? Now, so we have the global array, word array, that is expected to save the text or the words read from each of the text file. So we have this as global word array. Then you have to declare that word array is a what? Is a list. Is that understood? So that is the word array. So likewise, the question continues and says the number of words that can be made from letters in the main word is stored in the global variable number words. So we also have global number words. So this is an integer because it speaks to what? Number of words. Okay. So that must be an integer. So the question answer is the procedure of read words. So this is a function. So we have def read words. The procedure of read words, what does it do? Takes a file name as a parameter. So it must take a file name as a parameter. Okay. Then after that, opens the file and reads in the data. So open that file and reads in the data. So we use the function with open, then name file name as file. So we are creating the object in file. So with open file name as file. Hope this is understood. Yes, file name as file. Now open and read the data. So the file will be read. So we have content is equal to file dot read. Okay. So the file name here should be capital letter N and not small letter n. So the content will be read. But remember, the content will be read with the new line. Okay, so let's remove the new line by typing dot what? Dot strip. So this will remove all the new line slash n. I think I explained that in some seconds ago previously when we are illustrating file handling. So going back to the question, so we have read the data in the file as content. So everything has been read. So it now continues and says stores the main word in the first element in that array. Stores the main word in the first element in word array. Then stores each answer in a new element in word array. So that means the first element of the word array list will be the main word, which is the first word in the word in the first line, while other elements or other index becomes the other words in that line. I hope this is understood. So that means that we need to convert content to what? To a list and save it in what? In word array. So we convert. So now the file has been read, stripped into contents. So that means contents have all the file read with all the new line removed. So we are saving this into word array. So we say word array is equal to, then we convert content to a list. And how to do that is content dot split. So this function converts it to a what? To a list. So this is done now. I hope this is understood. So word array is now having all the content of the file name with the first line in the first index, which is the first element, and the others in the other index. So let's move forward. So the question now says counts and stores the number of answers. What does this mean? So this means that all the elements in the word array will be counted and stored in number words. I hope this is understood. It will be stored in number words. So all the answers, if you go back to the questions, what does answer means? It means that it says the program asks the user to enter the different words of three or more letters that can be made from the main words. They are called answers. So answers are the words that can be made from the main word. So if you go to this line, it says the answers are stored in the file, which we have read. Each answer is on a new line after the main word. So each answer is on the new line after the main word. So to count the number of answers, so we count that into the variable number words. Okay. Then we say number words is equal to the length of word array. So is this going to be correct? So let's assume we have 5 things in word array. So that means number words return 6. But should it be 6 or 5? Because the first word is the main word. The others are the what? Let's go back to the question. It says the others are the answers. Yeah. The first one is the main word, while the others are the answers, because it says that each answer is on a new line after the main word. That means the first word is the main word. The remaining items are the number words. So everything is in the word array list. Okay, everything is in the word array list. So if you calculate everything in the word array, so that means we have also calculated the main word as part of it. I hope this is understood. So that means that number words should be equal to length of word array minus 1. So with this, we have excluded the main word. I hope this is understood. But we are going to have a problem. Word array is declared as global, number word is declared as global. The arrays in this variable is not linked to the outside. If you look at the previous videos, I said whenever you declare a variable as global, whenever then you are now writing a special function in your main program, you must declare all the variables back as global, so it is linked with the outside variable, or else they remain a what? A local variable. So we have to redeclare global word array and also global number words. Is this understood? So now everything works fine as intended by the question. I hope this is understood. So write code for procedural words, which is exactly what we've written. Okay. So we've counted and stored the number of answers. Okay, good. So B. So it says that the main program, so that will be outside of the function. Let me just close this. So that means that will be outside of the function. So we have the main program. Okay. The main program asks the user to enter easy, medium, or hard. Asks the user to enter easy, medium, or hard, and calls read words with the file name that matches the user's input. For example, if the user enters easy, the parameter is easy.text, etc. So what will be done now? So we need to ask from the user, right? So then that means we declare file name to hold the variable the user is inputting. Then we say input, enter, enter easy, medium, or hard, right? Enter, enter the word, okay, enter the word easy, medium, or hard. Is that understood? So when that is entered, the user will enter one word, whether easy, medium, or hard. So it now says that our calls read word, we define name that matches the user input. That means we must check the input first. When we check the input, then we map it with define name that matches the input. Is this understood? So how do we check the input? We use an if statement and say if the word enter, which is find name, is equal to easy. That is, if the file name is equal to easy. Now if you look at this, easy, what if the user types it in capital letter? Okay, easy, medium, or hard. So the question does not specify if it is capital, small. The question does what easy, medium, or hard. So that means we should just limit it to small letters as written in this. So if file name is equal to easy, then we say file name is equal to easy dot easy dot txt. Yes, it should be in the string easy dot text. That is, if the user has entered easy, then the file name becomes easy dot text. Is that understood? Then we say if file name, or to prevent confusion, let me use file name as user input. User input, okay. Although both are the same, it still works just to prevent confusion. So if user input is equal to medium, okay, is equal to medium, that means file name is equal to medium dot text. Okay, then we also write if user input is equal to add dot text, then we say file name is equal to add, sorry, is equal to add, not add dot text. File name is equal to add dot text. It is understood. So that is what the question says. It says that the main program asks user to enter easy, medium, or hard, and calls read word with the file name that matches the user's input. So we have tried to map the user's input with the file name. So if it is easy, easy.text, medium, medium.text, add.text. So after we've checked the user input, then we now call the function with that file name. I hope this is understood. Then we call the function. The function is read weights. Okay, and the parameter is what? File name. I hope this is understood. Then file name now becomes whatever is mapped to what the user has given. Okay, good. So write program code for the main program, so which has been written. Okay, so see, I hope you guys understand this. It's as simple as that. So this is now for one scene, one question, one scene. So before we go to one scene, for the user input, we can put a tolerance that what if the user inputs easy as capital letter, or even small letter, or even the first letter capitalized. So let's just convert everything to lower, just to prevent any form of issue when the user inputs the inputs, okay? So that everything is converted to lower before the comparison. So let's go to question 1C. I hope this is understood. Now, the procedure play. So there's another procedure play, which is a function. So let's write our function def play. So what does place does? What is the description? Outputs the main word from the array and the number of answers. So it requires no parameter. So output the main word from the array and number of answers. So it outputs the main word and the number of answers. So remember, the main word is in the first index of the array. So that means we say main word, main word is equal to, the name of the array is word array. Word array 0. I can say mistake here. This is word array and not word array. Okay. So like I said initially, we still need to declare the global variable in this new function. Okay. So main word is word array 0. So that is the first question. That's what the first question says. Output the main word. Then we are also outputting what? The number of answers, isn't it? Then we say the number of answers is saved as what? As number words. Okay, which is already, since we declare number words here, so that means we already have number words. Since we have declared number words, it's also already linked. Okay, so since we are asked to output, so we need to print. Since we are asked to output, then we print. Okay, print the main word is main word is main word. So I need to use format. So print the main word is main word. Okay, and the, so I'm not supposed to close it, yes, and the what? And the number of answers, and the number of answers is number words. Number words. I hope this is understood. Is number words. So this has answered that line of question. So we are asked to output the main word and the number of answer, which is number word. Okay, back to the question. Allows the user to enter words until they enter the word no to indicate they want to stop. Allow the user to enter words until they enter the word no to indicate they want to stop. What does this mean? So it means that tell the user to give you words. They will continue to enter words until they enter no. So until they enter no means we need a loop. A loop to tell the user to continue to give you words, to continue to give you until the word no is typed. So that means we need an input, right? So we need to say user input. Okay, let me just say words is equal to, okay, enter words until no is given. So I can say while, okay, while words, I can say word is equal to yes. So I will make word yes. Then I say while what? While word is equal to yes. That is to say, I want this code to run while word is yes. Then I want it to stop running when the value for word has changed. I hope you understand. When the value of word has changed, I want this word to stop running because I want the user to continue to give me input in as much that the word is not yes no. Okay, then it stop running when the word input is no. Then I say word input enter the words and type no to stop. I hope this is understood. Enter the words and type no to because the question states that allows user to enter words until they enter the word no to indicate they want to stop. Okay, so that means that from this code, word is equal to yes. So why word is yes? Of course, word is yes, then it gets here. Okay, then it say word is equal to, it continues until word becomes what? No. So let's go back to the question. Output whether each word the user enters is an answer or not an answer. So that means when the user inputs the word, we'll compare it with the answer. If it is the answer, we say it is the answer. If not, we say it's not an answer. And you remember that the answer is saved in the second element of the array till the last element of the array. I hope you remember that. So that means that we compare each answer with the second element from the second element to the last element of the array. So that means we need a for loop to select each element in the array. Okay. So the word has been inputted. Then we say for I in for I the in the range of, okay, 1 to number words. Number words. Is it number words? Yeah, 1 to the length of word array, minus 1. So this goes from 1 to the last index of the array. If we have 5 things in the array, so the length of array returns 5, but the last index is 4, isn't it? So it goes from 1 to 4. So that is still correct. There's no minus 1. So if the last index is 4, it goes from 1 to 4. It excludes 0 because the first element is what? Is the main word. I hope you guys understood that. So we want to check if the word the user input is equal to each of the elements in the array. Then we say if word is equal to word array I. Is this understood? If it is equal to word array I, then the question says outputs whether each of the word enter is an answer or not. Then we say the print the 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 word entered is an answer. Is this understood? So the word enter is an answer. But else, then we say print format the word entered is not an answer. I hope this is understood. So if word the user input is equal to word array I, then I starts from 1, which is now the first answer. It has excluded 0, which was the main word. So I is 1. So if word is equal to the first element, it prints that that word is an answer. If not, it said it's not an answer. So it goes to the third element. It goes to the fourth. It goes to the fifth, sixth, until it gets to, if we have 10 things in the array, it gets to 9. And 9 is the last index. I hope this is understood. So that is how it works. So back to the question. Then it says count the number of answers the user gets correctly. Count the number of answers the user gets correctly. So that means that after each word is correct, then I get a variable count and say count is equal to count plus 1. Is this understood? So before count is used, I can come here and say count is equal to 0 to initialize count as 0. So every time the user gets the word correctly, then I increase count. I hope you understand this. I increase count for every time the user gets the word correctly. Okay? So back to the question. So it says count the number of answers the user gets correct. Replaces each answer that the user gets correct with a null value in the array. So that means that we change the array. We change the array. So whatever the user have gotten correctly, then we change it with a null value in the array. So what does this mean? Null means empty, an empty value. Do you understand? That is what means. What is what null means? Empty value. So we are asked to replace each answer that the user gets correct with a null value. That means change the correct value to an empty value. Do you understand? So since the user got word array I correctly, then I say that word array I, okay, is equal to this. So that means that let's assume we have HEN as the correct word and the user typing HEN. Since they are equal, count becomes 1. The value in that position, which is HEN, is changed to what? Empty. So that's what the question is saying. I hope we understand that. Okay, good. Now, this is what, so write the program code for play. So it has been written. So if you don't understand or you have question, just type in your question in the comments. So this is very easy and it's as easy as this. So the question has been answered. So let's move on to the next question. So it says, amend the play procedure. What we just wrote now, we are asked to amend so that when the user enters the command to stop, that is when no is written. No, when no is written, word is no longer yes, then this leaves the what? The loop. Okay, when the user enters the command to stop the procedure, outputs the percentage of answer the user entered from the array. Outputs the percentage of answer the user entered from the array. The percentage of answer. Outputs all the answer the user did not enter. So let's try and understand that very well. Output the percentage of answers the user entered from the array. That is, the answer the user entered from the array, the one he got. So that means how many words did the user get correctly? What is the percentage of words the user got correctly? So that is what it means that outputs the percentage of answers the user entered from the array. That is, what is the percentage of the words you got correctly? So how is that done? Remember that percentage will be equal to the number of words gotten correctly over what? Over total times 100, isn't it? So we'll come back here and say that percentage percentage, let me just say percent, is equal to the number of words the user got correctly is what? Is count. Can you remember? Is count. Then divided by count divided by the total number of answer. And total number of answer is what? Is number words. Number words, okay? Times 100%. So when would this code be? This code will be at the end because it says amend so that when the user enters the command to stop, when this user is stopping the function, so that will be at the end of the function. Okay, so that will be after the while loop. That is where this code will be, because when the user enters no, it leaves the while loop, then calculate the percentage. I hope you understand. So that means I need to initialize percentage and say percent is equal to 0. I hope this is understood. So percent is equal to 0. Am I doing wrong? Percent. Yes. So this is correct. So it means that I've initialized percent as 0. Then when no is entered, it squeezes this while loop, then gets to percent. So this percent is calculating how many the percentage of words you get correctly. That means how many words over total number of words times 100%. Is this understood? So I hope this is understood. So output all the answers that the user did not enter, the ones the user did not get. Remember, we have replaced the correct answer with a space, with a null value, not necessarily a space, with an empty value. Do you understand? So we now say that we now take, so what we are going to do now is to take to take the array, ignore all the index where there is a null value, then print the index where there is no null value. Do you understand? So since we are doing it one by one, that means we need a for loop. Then we say for let's say for j in the range of 1 to the length of word array minus 1. So this is going from the range of 1 to what? To the end of the, is it word array minus 1? It's 1 to length of word array. So that gets from 1, from the second index to the last index. Then we say if word array j, okay, if word array j is not equal to null, that is, if the value is not null, then print word array j. I hope this is understood. If the value is not null, print that value. If it is null, don't print it, or it will even do nothing because we didn't write else. Do you understand? So if the value is not null, it prints it. If it is null, it ignores. It continues to the end of the array. I hope this is understood. So it says write program code to amend play. So we have amended play function and everything is now correct. Is this understood? Okay, good. Then the next thing, before I move forward, it says output the percentage. So I need to print the percentage. Okay, that was what I skipped. I need to print the percentage. I need to write the function print. Okay, the percentage of words gotten correctly is percent, isn't it? So this will output the percent. That was why I skipped. So I need to output the percentage. Outputs the percentage of answers. Then output all the answers. So I've outputted all the answers. So this is now done correctly. So DI, the procedure read weights. Now this is another function. So we need to be very careful when answering these questions. We don't have to make mistake because there are lots of questions. So we need to be attentive, pay attention to the questions, put our mind, and avoid distraction. Okay. So the procedure on read weights. Then we define another function, read weights. Okay. No parameter. So just read weights. The procedure read weights. Calls play after the data in the file has been read. Calls play after the data in the file has been read. Remember that we already read the data, did we? Oh, sorry. We already have read words, so I don't have to write another. I forgot actually because I have many. So I already have read words, so I don't have to write another procedure. So read word is there already. So it says the procedure read word calls play after the data in the file has been read. So that means we need to go back to read word. The read word we are writing, the procedure, the function read word we wrote earlier. So it calls play, okay? Calls play after the data has been read. So data was read here, isn't it? Can you remember? With open, read, content display. So this is when the data has been read. So after the data has been read, it's out of this with function. So the question is now saying it calls play, then play. So play has been called. So when play was called, let's go back. Play. Okay, that is capital letter P. So we have called what? The function play as said by the question. So the procedure which will cause play after the data has been read. So data was read with open as file. Then after everything was read, play was called. Okay. Write program code to amend what? Read words. Can you see? Read words have been amended. So that is D. So the next one, test your program. So we need to test our program. So let's save. Test your program by inputting these words in the order shown. So let's test our program. One. So it's saying enter the word easy, medium, or hard. So we are asked to enter easy. Easy. Enter. So let's try and see what we did wrong. Let's go back to our code. Let's see what we did wrong. So this is talking about line 24. Line 24. Okay, I've seen the error. The error is the case sensitive of the variable. I wrote that read word find name. Name is written as capital letter N here. Name is written as small letter n, capital letter N. Can you see? There's an inconsistency in what? In capital letter. So with that, I have to make sure there is a consistency. So find name. So now everything is solved now. So with now I can run my file. Okay. So this is our error. It's saying the nameplate is not defined. So why is it so? So let's take a look at this. Play is defined, right? Is a function. So let me tell you what the problem is because you may encounter this same problem in your exam. Play was written before read word was called here, isn't it? When read word was called, read word is here. Then it's called play. It has called play before getting to play because this code runs line by line. So that means we need to bring all this code after what? After play. That is what it means. I hope you understand that. So because when read word is called, it's called play. But read word comes before play. Is that understood? But this code runs line by line. That is the reason why it says play is what is not defined. So if I bring this function read word, okay, downwards here after play because play was called in read word, so that means read word needs to be here. Okay. If read word is here, then we're still going to have another problem. Can you see? It's already on the line. Because in the main program, it should come after the read word. So to prevent that, why don't we write this into another function, then call the function later? Now, what do I mean by that? So since this is the main function, remember we are always amending the main function in the question. So next time, let's always write the main function in a function or the main program in a function so that we don't have to always bring it after a function or before a function. Do you understand? So what does that mean? Write def main. Okay. Then we put all this in the main function. Okay. So anytime I call the main function, then it comes here and work on the function. Do you understand? So this becomes our main program. So henceforth, let's always write our main program here so that it will prevent us from always copying it from this point downwards over and over again. So at the end of the code, then the main function will just be called. Is this understood? So that is very easy. So let's run our code and see if we have made any other mistake. So run. When the code is run, then the question says type in easy. The main word is house and the number of item is 14. So what is the next thing? She. S-H-E. S-H-E. Look at the S-H-E enter is not an answer. Not an answer. Then the S-H enter is an answer. But it stopped. It's not supposed to stop, right? So let's go back to the function. What is really happening? To the play function. The play function is doing the main work. So we wrote that word is equal to yes. So we said while word is equal to yes, then word is equal to this. When the user enters anything, the value of word is no longer equal to yes. Then the condition will be false and this while loop will quit. So that was our mistake. I hope you understand. But we are supposed to quit when the user inputs a no. So we are supposed to say why word is not equal to no. So that means that this code will continue to run in as much the word is not a no. I hope you understand that. So in as much the input is not a no, it will continue to run. Okay, so the reason why I'm making this mistake is because you can also make this mistake in the exam. So when you make the same mistake in the exam, because you'll be under examination condition, examination tension, so when you make your mistake, you can easily identify what you have done wrong, then go back and correct. So I've just taught you how do you check your code, how do you correct your mistake. It's part of what I'm supposed to teach you. So I'm supposed to make the same mistake you will make in the exam, so that you see the mistake and know and understand how to correct such a mistake. So let's take a look at it again. We said the value of word is yes. Why word is not equal to no? So this code will run because the value of word is not no. It will continue to run until the user inputs a no, then it quits. Do you understand? Now, we are going to see another mistake here, but let's run the code so that we see the mistake. I don't want to say the mistake. Let's run it so that we see the mistake. Then we run. So what is the first input? The first input is easy. Then she, S-H-E. Now, look at what happened now. S-H-E, it wrote is not an answer, not an answer. Then it wrote the S-H-E is an answer. Then enter the word and type no to stop. It's not stopping. It's still telling us to keep entering until we enter a no, isn't it? Then the next thing, O-U-T, until we enter no. When we enter no, it prints the array and stops, which is not what we want. Look at it. This no is not an answer for long time before it quits. Out is not an answer for a long time. SH is an answer, but it's wrote it and write not an answer. What exactly went wrong? Let me tell you. We said if word is equal to word I, that means it checks if the word we enter is equal to what the word is in that position. Is that understood? It compares. So let's assume in the first position we have HE. For example, we have HE. Then we input SHE. It checks the first index. It saw that they are not equal. Then it will print else. Do you understand? It will print else. Then it goes to the next index. When it sees that they are not equal, it prints else again. It goes to the next index. It prints else. It goes to the next index. It continues to go until it finds the word in its position. So that means it continues to print else, continue to print else, continue to print else until the item is found, which is not what is intended, which is wrong. So the code will not run as expected because that won't give us what we need. So that means we cannot use if else in this code. That is what it means, because else will continue to print. The else will not print if the first word is equal to if the word you enter is equal to the first item in the array. Then it will not print else. Do you understand? But don't forget, it continues to go in the for loop. It asks again. When it asks again, then if it is not equal to the first one again, it prints else. It continues to print. It continues to print. So which is not what we want. So that means we cannot use else in this loop. Okay. So what do we need to use? So we need to set another variable called a Boolean variable, just to make it true or false when the item is found. So if the item is found, we print. If the item is not found, then we also print. So that is the way forward. So like I said, if the item is found, so before you print, we can set a Boolean variable. Do you understand? Before you print. Then if it is found, then we say found, or sorry, if it is equal, okay, then we say found is equal to true. We just creating another variable called found. Found will be set to true if that word is correct. Is that understood? So before printing, after we are done with the for loop, after the for loop is done, do you understand? Do you know that the item will only be found once after it has gone through all the array? Then we say if found. If found, then we print this if it was found. Okay, then else, that is if it is not found, then this will be printed. So with this, the question is answered. Is that understood? I hope this is understood. So instead of, so with this, we'll solve the problem of it writing the word entered is not an answer so many times until the item is found. So let's take a look at this again. It starts from I equals to 1. Check if they are equal. If they are not equal, it just skip and go to I equals to 2. It checks if they are equal. If not, goes to I equal to 3. It checks, go to I equals to 4, I equals to 5, I equals to 6 until it gets to the last value in the array. When it gets to the last value in the array, found will still not be true. So that means I need to have declared found as equal to false. Is that understood? So the value of false found was initially false. So if the item is not found after the for loop has gone through, found still remains false. So it comes here and say if found. If found means if found is true. Of course, found is not true, then it prints this. So it's only printed once. So let's illustrate again. When you enter the first value is not equal to the first item, it skips, go to the second, not equal, go to the third, not equal. When it gets to the fourth, it saw that it was equal. Now that it is equal, found will be true. Then it goes to the fifth, goes to the sixth, goes to the seventh, found is still true. At the end of the for loop, it gets out, then check it found is true. Now that found is true, then this item will be printed. I hope this is understood. Then that solves our problem. Okay, so let's run it and confirm that our problem is now solved. So we run the code. So according to the question, it says type in easy, easy, then SHE. So can you see the output is not a suitable message? The she entered is an answer. Instead of the word she, like in quotes, you can put she in quotes, okay? So we can come back here and say the word in quotes, okay, is entered, entered is an answered, while I can also say the word this entered is not an answer. I hope this is understood. So let's run it to implement that change. So when you run the code now, so the first word is easy, then she. Can you see the word she is an answer? Then OUT. The word OUT entered is an answer, but OUT is not an answer because OUT is not in the easy file. It is not in the easy file. So that means we did something wrong somewhere, or we made a mistake somewhere. So let's try and identify what we did wrong. In fact, if I type NO, it quits. We are happy. But it's right the word no entered is an answer, which is not supposed to be so. So let's go back to our code to see it's still this same line of code where the issue is. Okay, so once we can solve this last problem, then our code is 100% correct. Okay, so what's happening? It says why word is not equal to no. It wrote this line, one this one, and say found is true. Now when found is true, it moves again to ask for another word, isn't it? Because no is not entered. When you enter another word and the word is not found, do not forget that the value of found still remains true. Do you understand? Because it says why word is not equal to no. Is check for the word if it is equal to what we have in the array. Okay? If it is equal, found is true. If found is true, it printed the word entered is an answer, right? But the word is not no, isn't it? So it comes back here and check if the word is not a no. If the word is not a no, it asks the question again. I hope you understand that. It asks the question again that input the word you want to enter the word and type no to stop. When you enter the word now, it compares. When it compares, if the word is not in the array, it leaves, right? When it leaves, do remember that the value of found was not changed to false. It still remains true. Do you understand? It still remains true. That means after the first word has been found to be true, every other word you enter will always return a true. So that means after this while statement, we need to change the value of found to be equal to false. Do you understand? So if the first word input was found, it is true. When another word inputted is not found, it becomes false. I hope you understand that. It becomes false. So it will always reset found to false. Initially, found was not reset to false. So it's whenever it was true, it stays as true. So now found will be reset to what? To false. I hope you understand this. So let's run our code. Okay. So let me save and run now. So the first word easy. Now SHE is an answer. OUT. Can you see OU theta is not an answer? Then NO, it quits. So when it quits, don't forget it have to write the array according to what we wrote now. Because our code is now working well, very, very well. Okay. So if you have any comment on the question, you can put it in the comments. So another test. Test your program by inputting these words in the order shown. Then we will run again. Okay, we will run again. Then test it with add, then find, entered is an answer, then find is an answer. Let me open add to see. Yes, there is, okay, I don't know. Yeah, there's find. There should be find because find can be gotten from finted, right? FINE. It can be gotten from the finted, so there should be find, but because the numbers are matched, it will be difficult for me to check. So let me continue. So find, okay, idea entered is an answer. So let me check idea. Can I get idea from the first word? IDEA. Yes, idea entered is an answer. Yes, we can. It must be somewhere there. So because of the, yeah, it is there. Idea. Can you see that? Okay. So what is the next thing? Then no. It should stop. Can you see? It stopped. So let's move to the next one. Is that all? So that is all. That is the end of the question. So I hope you guys understand this. You understand how to read, write, and append a file. You understand how to read in the content of a file, how to remove the new line character, how to convert the content of a file to a what, to a list, and how to write to a file whether the file exists or not, how to append to a file whether the file exists or not, and you understood how to use the if statement, how to use the for loop, okay, how to use the while loop. If you want to set condition for your for loop, you understand how to set condition. And the most important thing, if you make a mistake and the mistake are similar to this, or even not similar to this, you understand how to troubleshoot your code, or to debug your code and identify where the mistake is and correct. Not all mistake will print an error. Some mistake will not put an error but will not work as intended according to the question. So what we have learned is we've been able to learn a lot from just this one question, and what we've learned from this question can be applied in so many questions in the past question as well, or in questions we write in our exams. So I hope this is well understood. If you have any question, put them in the comments, then I'll reply to them. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.